As an Amazon seller who is self-taught and someone who has worked full-time for a course for Helium 10 and worked for over 1,400 students, I can tell you these are 10 of the most common mistakes that I see new Amazon FBA private label sellers make. And I want to share them with y'all so y'all can avoid this from happening. You might as well learn from people who have experience so then you can learn from their mistakes and do better. Mistake number 1 is not understanding what products you should and should not sell. And this is outside of doing product research. This is purely just understanding the pros and cons of different products you should be aware of. And I do have a YouTube video that covers all of this and more, so feel free to check that video out. But you really want to understand what products to be mindful of and understand why people say typically to stay away from them as a new Amazon seller. Next up is selling a product that has too high competition. So as an Amazon seller, the whole goal is to get our listing on page 1 and 2. Now, if you enter a super high competition category where all of the top sellers on page 1 have 100,000 reviews, they're making $1 million a month in revenue, do you know how long it is going to take you and how much money you are going to have to spend to even get close to becoming one of those top competitors? It is going to take so long and so much money. So as a new Amazon seller, we want to stick with lower competition products and niches. And in this way, you can create a bomb product that you added value to doing product research. You can create an amazing listing that's stronger than your top competitors and actually become one of those top sellers way quicker than you would if you entered a high competition category. Next is not accurately calculating your profit margins after you get quotes. So whenever you're using Helium 10's profitability calculator, when you are researching your competitor's profit margin, you have to understand that's not going to be your exact profit margin. Because if you have a top competitor where they're ordering 50,000 units every 3 months, their cost per unit is going to be so much lower than yours will be if you are ordering a test order of 150 units. So you need to double check your profit margins at the lowest possible sales price all the way up to your goal price and make sure that you will be profitable no matter where you are in that range. I always like to start my launch price super, super low, especially when I have 0 reviews. And then as you gain positive reviews, then you work your price up. This next one I see happens so often, and I actually did this myself, but the next mistake is ordering too many units for your first order. You need to start with a test order of like 150 to 250 units, especially when you are launching a brand new product. It is going to take time for your listing to get traction. It's going to take time for you to get sales and start ranking for keywords. So your product's going to be slower moving in the beginning. So if you are over ordering your units, you are going to be paying so much more in storage fees the more units you are ordering and the longer they are being stored. Next is not verifying a brand name from the very beginning and selling under generic instead. So this is a new rule, but if you start as generic because you want to test the waters and then you finally start paying money on ads and you start getting reviews and sales and you're doing well, and then you're like, crap, all my top competitors have a trademark brand name and they have Amazon brand registry benefits. So they have brand stores and photos in the description, and you want to level up. The only way you can do that is if you delete your generic listing, create a brand new Amazon listing, verify your brand name, and then start that process all over again. So it's always going to be the best approach if you verify your brand name from the very beginning. So whenever you create an Amazon listing, they're going to give you 2 options. You can either input a brand name or you can sell under generic. You should input the brand name, and the way you verify this brand name is sending in images of the brand name spelt out fully and correctly on your personalized packaging. And then they may ask you for a few other things, just depending on your product, the category, etc. But always verify your brand name if you can. Next is being a copycat and not adding value to your product and or differentiating your product. This is the quickest way to race to the bottom. If you just look at your top seller's product, you find their exact manufacturer, you sell their exact same product, you lowball the price, and then have a similar listing, this is the quickest way to race to the bottom because you're just going to have to keep cutting your price in order to make a sale. So you want to be able to add value, differentiate your product, and race to the top. Next is not creating an optimized listing. This is so important because this is the only way people shop on Amazon. So you not only need competitive pricing, but you also need amazing images that share every single thing that's important about your Amazon product, highlight the value you added, why it's better than the top competitors, features, benefits, functions, instructions, etc. People should be able to look at your images alone, read through everything, and know everything they need that's important about your product in order to make a purchase without having to actually read all of the bullet points and the title, etc. And then not only that, we need an optimized Amazon listing with keywords. If you don't have keywords inside of your listing, you are not going to index for them. So, meaning before you even launch your product, if you are not indexing for these keywords because you didn't put them in your listing, Amazon is not going to recognize that your product is related to that keyword. So whenever someone types in that keyword, your product is not going to be discoverable. So you have to have keywords inside of your listing so you can optimize visibility. Next is launching too many products at the same time or launching too many products close together. As a new Amazon seller and all Amazon sellers, we have Amazon FBA capacity limits, and this is based on our sales velocity. So as a new seller, we do not have a high sales velocity, so it's really easy to go over with your units you're allowed to send in. And if you ever send in too many units, you're going to get hit with overage fees, which are really expensive. This could go to $1,000, like thousands of dollars, depending on how many units are over. Not only that, the more units you are sending to Amazon and the longer they're being stored, the more you are going to be paying in your storage fees and other fees as well. So you really want to make sure whenever you're purchasing your first inventory order, you already have money aside for your second inventory order, because once you get halfway through that inventory, we can't wait until we have all of our profits and we sell out to restock, or else we're going to run out of stock and lose our keyword rank. So you want to have money put aside. Once you get around halfway through, you place that second inventory order with your side money that you put away. And then once you have all of your remaining profits, that is when you can launch product number 2. Lastly, do not source a low quality product. The brand you create is only going to be as strong as the quality of your product. So when you're communicating with suppliers and you are testing out your samples, you want to make sure you're finding a healthy balance between product quality and the price. Do not just go for the lowest manufacturer that you find because you want to optimize your profits. Because as you start getting sales, if your star rating is lower than the top competitors and you're selling a similar product, who do you think is going to get the sale? So always make sure you are prioritizing the product quality, and then everything else will fall into place. Please let me know if y'all have any questions in the comments, and then feel free to like and subscribe so I know what types of content y'all do and don't like. And stay tuned till the next one.